All right, so finally the fifth quarterback taken off the board. We were expecting it to happen, and it's happened. The Patriots select. Wait, that's not Sam Howell. Patriots going with a different quarterback, Bailey Zappe, who I feel a little bit, good about my own scouting a little bit due to the fact that I actually at one point had Bailey Zappe ahead of Sam Howell, but then I did flip Howell over. But I had him as kind of like, on the same tier. I wasn't really like confident about one over the other. You can make the argument that Bailey Zappe is kind of that Tom Brady type guy. He won't be Tom Brady, of course, but stylistically there are some similarities. I believe I have a film study out on this channel about him, or maybe I never ended up actually making that one. Now that I think about it, so no film study, unfortunately. But I've talked about him a lot. I did an in-depth recap on the podcast of all the top 10 quarterbacks, and he just feels like he'll be a quality backup guy. Again, the stylistic similarities to Brady are that he might not have the physical tools, but he still has a solid arm, and he finds a way. He makes the right decisions, and again, similar to Mac Jones, right? This is definitely Bill Belichick's type, and the reality is, Belichick actually has a pretty good history of drafting quarterbacks late in rounds to be like solid players. Garoppolo was a second-round pick. Jacoby Brissett was, I believe, a third or fourth round pick. And now here's Zappe, who I think will be at least in that tier of like a quality player. Does he have the high-end stuff that even a Mac Jones has? No. This is not a guy who's going to compete for Mac Jones' job. This is solely a guy who can be a quality backup quarterback for them for the next 4 years for cheap, and then you can move off and get someone else if to be a backup. And, who knows, maybe a Jimmy Garoppolo scenario will happen where he'll look good as a backup, and then you can trade him and get some value for him. So for Bailey Zappe, there's things to like about him. I like his throwing motion. That's another thing that when I say, stylistically compares to Brady, that and good footwork, and he processes relatively well, is accurate, all that good stuff. That's what you like about him. He will make the occasional WTF throw. He feels a little bit like he can make every single throw, which he can't because he doesn't have a huge arm. And I said that kind of similar to Brady, but the reality is Brady is someone who does actually have a bigger arm than he gets credit for, as if you're a Patriots fan watching this video, you're well aware of. But Bailey Zappe, not as big of an arm, and he still will try to make every throw, so he needs to figure out how to not do that. But he still processes well. He can throw off balance. And again, he's not the most athletic guy, but he is a smart runner. Actually, Mac Jones isn't a horrible comparison in that regard. So fourth round feels right to me. I think that does check out, and it's worth taking a flyer on and seeing what can happen. Again, I don't think this is hey, maybe he'll start for us. I'm a little surprised that, Sam Howell is still on the board. But for the Patriots, I actually think that Zappe fits their team better than Sam Howell would have. I would have also made this pick if I were them, because Sam Howell is just this big project, which that's not what you want with a backup. With a backup, you want someone who can just come in and play, and that's what Zappe can do. So, you can't keep having, you can only have so many years of Hoyer the Destroyer before you eventually have to get someone else. So I think Zappe could be an interesting piece to this puzzle. I like this pick. Again, part of it is, when are you drafting it? If you're drafting him, after 130 guys have gone, all right, that's okay. You can get the backup quarterback then, because, it matters. So that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.